Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all, and today we're going to be doing a combo guide for pure Drytron. Drytron is one of my favorite decks in the game. It is the first deck I used to get Platinum 1 or Platinum 5, whatever the highest rank was in the very first season of Master Duel when it was released back in January of 2022. It's a deck that has gotten support recently. It's really just interesting how strong a ritual deck can be when it is given the right kind of support. And to be honest, it's really the only ritual deck that I would ever really play. I really like playing Drytron. I've always revisited it. I've played Drytron Turn Skip, I've played Drytron Herald, I've played Pure Drytron, and so I want to show what this deck is really capable of for the people who don't really know or appreciate how powerful ritual decks can be. To start with, we're going to do a simple combo where we have Drytron Alpha Thubane and Drytron Nu 2 in our hand. So, first up, we'll activate Alpha Thubane's effect and we tribute Nu 2. Special summon it. When Drytron Alpha Thubane is special summoned by its own effect, we can add any ritual monster from our deck to our hand, which is going to be Cyber Angel Benton. Now we'll activate Nu 2's effect from the graveyard. We revive it, and then we can revive it if we can special summon it from either our hand or our graveyard if we control a Drytron card, but banish it when it leaves the field. And then if it's special summon, we can add a Drytron monster from our deck to our hand. So we'll use Nu 2's effect, and we're going to add Bright Knight. Okay. Now we will exceed these two monsters into Drytron Mu Beta Fafnir. And when Mu Beta Fafnir is exceed summoned, we can send any Drytron monster from our deck to our graveyard. In this case, we're going to choose a Drytron Zeta Aldibah. Zeta's effect activates from the graveyard. We tribute the Angel Benton that we drew. Special summon it from our graveyard, and then we get to add a ritual spell from our deck to our hand, which will be Meteonis Drytron. When Cyber Angel Benton is sent to the graveyard, we can add Diviner of the Herald from our deck to our hand. So we're going to add it. Then we normal summon Diviner of the Herald, and we'll use its effect in order to pitch the Herald of the Arclight from our extra deck, and that raises Diviner of the Herald's level to 6. It also lets us trigger Herald of the Arclight's effect, allowing us to add Drytron Meteonis DA Dracondis from our deck to our hand. Now we will use Zeta and Diviner of the Herald as tribute material, synchro material in order to synchro summon our FA Dawn Dragster. Alright. It's just a spell and trap negate. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell card or trap card or effect, you can reduce this card's level by 2. If you do, negate that activation, and if you do that, destroy the card. So it's a level 7 synchro monster that has an effect. Good enough. Alright, now I'll activate Ultimate Bright Knight's effect. Since we control a Drytron, we can special summon it from our hand. Then we can add any Drytron card spell or trap from our deck to our hand, which is going to be Fafnir. Activate Fafnir and use its effect to add the other Drytron spell from our deck to our hand, which is Nova. Then we'll use Nova's effect to special summon the last Drytron card we don't have from our deck, which is, in this case, is Gamma Eltanin. Okay. Now, we will activate the effect of Meteonis Drytron. And we're going to tribute Gamma Eltanin, Ultimate Bright Knight, and the last material from... Alright, no, hold on. We're going to tribute both the materials from Alpha Thubane, or sorry, from Mu Beta Fafnir, and then we're also going to tribute Gamma in order to ritual summon our Meteonis DA Dracondis. Alright. Now we will activate Drytron's effect from the graveyard, lower Mu Beta's attack points by 1,000, and then we will use Gamma's effect. We tribute the Ultimate Bright Knight, special summon back Gamma, and we will revive the Thubane. Now we will exceed these two monsters into a second copy of Mu Beta Fafnir. And we pass our turn. So that gives us a spell negate. It gives us another spell negate because if when your opponent activates a monster, a spell or trap in a card while you control a machine ritual monster, you get to detach one material from this card, negate the activation if you do destroy the card. And then you can also use Draconid's effect to twice per turn when your opponent activates a monster effect, banish Drytron monsters from your graveyard whose total attack and defense equal or exceed the original attack of that monster. Negate the activation if you do destroy it. So, yeah. 2 spell and trap negates and 2 monster negates. Pretty decent. If we had any other monster, which we do technically, here's how you can extend it further. So I can use this effect, special summon the Delta from my hands, and then link into IP Masquerena. And the reason why we play IP Masquerena is because DA Draconid's effect is a soft twice per turn. So during our opponent's turn, we can link this into... We use IP Masquerena and Drytron Medianus DA Dracondis to link summon Dynamondo, which is a Link to Cybers monster that requires 2 monsters, including a ritual monster. If this card is special summon, you can target a card on the field and a ritual monster in the graveyard, special shuffle both into the deck, which we would choose the Benton in that case. And then its other effect is, during your opponent's turn as a quick effect, you contribute this card, target a ritual monster in the graveyard, either add it to your hand or special summon it. So we would tribute it to revive our Draconids, which would give us the ability to activate its effect again, giving us 2 more monster negates. So with the 1 extra card in our hand, we end up having 2 spell and trap negates and 4 monster negates, along with the ability to shuffle a card our opponent controls into the deck. And then Medianus Draconids also says other Drytron monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So Mu Beta Fafnir cannot be destroyed by card effects. And once we special summon the... that's fine. Okay. Alright, there we go. That is the first combo. Next up, let's showcase what happens when you open Alpha Thubane and Zeta Aldibah. So first we're going to activate Alpha Thubane's effect. We tribute Zeta, special summon it, use its effect to grab Angel Benton. Then Zeta's effects, we tribute Angel Benton, special summon it, and draw the Medianus Draconid, or Drytron. Angel Benton adds us the Diviner of the Herald. Then we will exceed into our Mu Beta Fafnir. Mu Beta Fafnir's effect activates. In this case, we're going to mill our Nu, because Nu is the most important card in the deck. Normal summon Diviner effects. We pitch the Herald. Herald effects. Grab the Medianus J Dracondis. Nu's effect, we can just special summon it. We don't need to tribute. Secondary effect, we grab a Drytron monster, which is going to be our Ultimate Bright Knight. Ultimate Bright Knight, special summon itself. Bright Knight, grab us the Fafnir. Activate Fafnir. Fafnir gets Nova. Activate Nova. Nova special summon Gamma from deck. Then we use Diviner the Herald and Gamma to synchro into the Dawn Dragster. Medios Dracondis tribute the 2 materials off of the Mu Beta Fafnir and the Mu Beta Fafnir itself. Ritual summon Draconids. Meteonus Drytron, lower Ultimate Bright Knight's attack points, return to the hand. Eltanin's effect, tribute Ultimate Bright Knight. So summon it back. Then bring back the Zeta. And once again, you can either make IP Masquerena or the second copy of Move Beta Fafnir, depending on whether you're more worried about monster effects or spells and traps. Alright, next up, we have Cyber Emergency and Drytron Alpha Thubane. This is the exact same thing. Cyber Emergency is basically just a copy of New. So, Cyber Emergency, grab New. Alpha Thubane, tribute New. Special. Draw the Benton. New revives. New effect. Grab the Bright Knight. Bright Knight special. Effect. Grab Fafnir. Fafnir, grab Nova. Nova effect. Special summon the Gamma from deck. Exceeds into Move Beta Fafnir. Move Beta Fafnir, mill the Zeta. Zeta revive or tribute the Ben 10 to special summon itself. Then we draw the ritual spell. Ben 10 effect, grab the Herald. Normal summon Herald. Herald effects, pitch the Herald. Herald effect to grab the ritual monster. Synchro the Herald and the Zeta into Dawn Dragster. Activate Meteonus Drytron. Tribute the entire Xyz monster. Ritual summon Dracondus. Meteonus Drytron, lower Alpha Thubane's attack points, return to the hand. Gamma's effect, tribute Alpha Thubane. Special summon it back. Special summon another monster. Then Lincoln IP. There you go. Alright, next up we're going to try Drytron Nova and Drytron New 2. Nova's a little bit awkward because it means that you don't get an extender when you summon when you activate Drytron Fafnir. You don't get an extender, but that's fine. So we're going to special summon the Alpha Thubane from the deck. Then we'll special summon New 2. New 2, grab the Bright Knight. Bright Knight, special summon itself. And then we will draw the Drytron Fafnir. Now we'll activate Drytron Fafnir, and in this instance, since we've already used Nova, we're going to grab Meteonus. So that means we don't have to use Zeta as part of our combo. So we're going to Xyz into Move Beta Fafnir. Move Beta Fafnir is going to send the, in this case, we're going to send the Meteonus Dracondus from deck to grave because we don't currently have the ritual monster, we don't currently have Thubane in rotation. So we're going to activate Meteonus, and we're going to tribute the entire monster. Ritual summon Draconids. Okay. Now we can use, first we're going to use Drytron's effect to lower Bright Knight's attack points. Bring it back. Then we'll use Alpha Thubane, Tribute to the Bright Knight. Special summon. That lets us grab the Cyber Angel Benton. And I think that is all we can do in this line. Yeah. So as you can see, yeah, if you have to use Nova as one of your openers and Nova does not get you new specifically, it can be a little bit awkward because now you're looking at potentially because the reason why new in your hand is worse in that situation is because you can't use new as tributes. You're summoning a monster that you have to then use as Exceeds material and then put in your graveyard, and then you have fewer options to special summon it and resolve its effect. So as you can see in this instance, I drew the Ben 10, but I ran out of options. I could potentially have drawn the other ritual monster and, you know, ritual summon, but that would have required me to have another monster in my hand. Now granted, I do, but I'm just trying to show off some 2-card combos here. Okay, here's an interesting one. So we have Fafnir and Alpha Thubane. Alright. Activate Fafnir. Fafnir's effect grabs us Drytron Nova. Then we'll activate Nova to special summon the new 2 from deck. New 2's effect. We will grab the Zeta. Then we'll use Alpha Thubane, tribute the new. Special summon itself. Okay. In this instance, I'm not going to add anything. I have the option to add. I'm not going to because I already have Ben 10 in my hand. So we're going to say that I use the effect to add Ben 10. All right. Now we will use Zeta's effect. We tribute the Ben 10 that we just searched. And now we can grab Meteonus Drytron. All right. Ben 10, grab the Herald of Diviner of the Herald. Okay. New 2's effect, we come back. Then we normal summon it, Diviner of the Herald. Diviner of the Herald's effect, we pitch the Herald of the Arclights and use its effect to grab the Ritual Monster. Okay. Now in this instance, we don't actually need the Ursartic, the brightest monster, the Bright Knight monster, because we opened Fafnir. So we Fafnired into Nova. We already have Meteonus Drytron, so there are no more Drytron spells or traps left for us to search. So very convenient, actually. Synchro. Make our Dawn Dragster. Alright, now we're going to Exceeds into Mu Beta Fafnir. Fafnir's effect. We pitch the Gamma. Then we're going to activate Gamma's effect from the graveyard and tribute the Meteonus because we can actually ritual summon Meteonus from the graveyard. So we summon Gamma, Gamma's effect, we revive Zeta. Okay. Now we can Meteonus Drytron, tribute the entire monster. Effect of Drytron, lower the attack points, return to the hand. And then we can either link it to IP Masquerena or make our Drytron Mu Beta Fafnir, depending on whether we care about monster effects or spells and traps more. Alright, here we go. Let's try if we have Fafnir and Gamma. So we'll activate Fafnir's effect, and we're going to draw Nova. Nova's effect, we special summon the new 2 from our deck. New 2's effect, we grab Alpha Thubane. Then we'll use Alpha Thubane and we're going to tribute the Gamma in our hand. Special summon, draw the Ben 10. Okay. Then we will Exceeds into Mu Beta Fafnir. So Gamma is an interesting option because Gamma is a really good card, but it requires you to have more materials in your graveyard. So rather than immediately jumping on the Gamma in the graveyard, we're going to put more materials in our graveyard first. So we're going to Xyz first because we don't want Nu to get banished. And we're going to send Zeta from our deck to the graveyard. Zeta's effect activates first. We're going to tribute the Benten. Special summon, draw the ritual spell. Benten effect, we grab the Diviner of the Herald. Alright. Normal summon Diviner of the Herald. Diviner of the Herald effect. Pitch the Herald of the Arclights. Herald of the Arclights. Grab the Ritual Monster. Okay. Now we can synchro into the Dawn Dragster. Gamma's effect, we tribute the Dracondis, so summon it back, as well as a Zeta. Okay. Then we're going to Xyz into Mu Beta Fafnir here because we can't actually, we don't have enough materials on the existing Mu Beta Fafnir to ritual summon. Now we're going to activate Emergency Drytron, and we're going to use the materials attached to both of our ritual monsters in order to ritual summon. Okay. Activate Emergency Drytron's effect. Lower the attack points of the monster that doesn't have materials. Then we activate Nu's effect from the graveyard, allowing us to special summon it. And now we can link into IP Masquerena. And this is our full board. So now we have the Drytron with the single material, we have the IP Masquerena, and we have the Draconins. So we have 2 spell and trap negates, 4 monster negates, and the spin from the deck. We do still have... Currently, we only have 3 Drytrons in our graveyard, but as soon as we will need to use Mu Beta Fafnir's spell negate first to make sure that we detach 1 extra material, so that we have 4 Drytrons in our graveyard for the full 4 monster negates. Fantastic, excellent end board. Alright, so let's see what happens when we start with some Zetas here. So we're going to start with, we're going to play this one out with Zeta and Emergency. So Emergency, grab Nu. Zeta, tribute Nu. Grab the Emergency Drytron. Nu 2's effect, special summon itself. Secondary effect, grab the Bright Knight. Special summon Bright Knight. Grab Fafnir. Activate Fafnir. Fafnir grabs us Nova. Activate Nova. Nova special summon Alpha Thubane. Now we'll Xyz into Mu Beta Fafnir. Mu Beta Fafnir, pitch the... In this instance, we've used everything except Gamma, right? Yep. Gamma's effects, we tribute the Ultimate Bright Knight Ursatron, special summon the Gamma, which allows us to bring back the Ursatron. Okay. Then we will link the Alpha Thubane and the Bright Knight into IP Masquerena. Alpha Thubane tributes the Gamma, special summon itself, draw the Drytron Minionis, then we'll activate a Minionis Drytron's effect. Ritual summon Draconids, Drytron, lower the attack points of Thubane, and that's it. That was probably wrong. Probably should, if I had done Thubane, if I had searched Thubane earlier, I probably would have gotten the full combo here. But there you go. It's an example of how the deck properly works. Let's see. Okay, so this time we have Emergency and Delta. So let's go Emergency, grab Thubane. Thubane, tribute the Delta to special summon itself. Grab the Benton. Delta, tribute the Benton to special summon itself. Benton, grab the Diviner of the Herald. Normal summon Diviner of the Herald. Diviner of the Herald effect. Pitch the Herald of the Arclight. Herald of the Arclight. Grab the Dracondus. Exceeds into Mu Beta Fafnir. Fafnir send Zeta. Zeta, tribute the Dracondus. Special summon itself, grab the Drytron Medionis that we would have not had. Synchro into Dawn Dragster. Medionis Drytron. Make the Draconids. And pass turn. So in this instance, we opened the Delta, and Delta does draw you a card. So that becomes more of a gray area where it's harder for me to show you what it would look like in an actual combo, because that is just like a genuine, like, you don't know what you're going to get. It will usually be useful to you. But since that's, I'm not going to showcase that when it's an unknown, I will simply end here, and you can see that I ended up with 2 monster negates and a spell negate. So Delta is definitely like the worst card of the Drytron cards, other than the Beta, which we don't even play. But it is still a name, which is why we're playing it at 3, and it's still a good card. All right, we're at 30 minutes now. I'm sure that most of you clicked off already, so I'll go ahead and cut it here. Here is the deck list. 3 copies of Alpha Thubane, 3 copies of Gamma, 3 copies of Zeta, 3 copies of Delta, 3 copies of Nu 2, 2 Max C's, 1 Diviner of the Herald, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, 1 copy of Ultimate Bright Knight Ursatron Alpha, 3 copies of Lava Golem, which is extremely good for going second, 1 copy of Vanity's Ruler, 1 copy of Cyber Angel Benton, 1 copy of Drytron Medionis Draconids, 1 copy of Drytron Medionis DA Draconids, 1 Foolish Burial, 3 copies of Cyber Emergency, 3 copies of Drytron Nova, 2 copies of Drytron Fafnir, 1 copy of Medionis Drytron, 2 Call by the Grave, 1 Cross-Out Designator for a total of 42 cards in the main deck. Elder Entity Entis, Herald of the Arclight, Dawn Dragster, Kiki Nagashi Fucho, which is a rank 1 that is unaffected by monster effects, unaffected by card effects, and then you can attach 2 materials from this card, and it can't be destroyed by battle, or you take no battle damage. So it's a very good card to stall if you get interrupted. But you can just make it with 2 Drytrons, and then you are basically guaranteed to not die during your opponent's next turn. Mu Beta Fafnir at 2. Downward Magician, which you can, if you battle with an Xyz monster, you can then use that Xyz monster as material to make Downward Magician, which will then allow you to go into Zeus the Sky Thunder for 4 material Zeus to clear the board twice. Relinquished Anima sucks up a monster. Nightmare Phoenix is just a good option for dealing with certain boards, like in particular Stun and Fluandereeze. IP Masquerena is necessary for the combo. Dynamundo is necessary for the combo. SP Little Knight is an option for going into IP Masquerena if you need to. Access Code Talker is how we win going second. And Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, which is just another good Masquerena target if your opponent summons some sort of unoutable monster. All right, there you go. There's the deck. There's a ton of combos that you guys can use with it. My name is Rafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.